Pause. Okay. So, everybody have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody cleansing this week?
I was planning on it, but my snacks didn't come.
Me too.
Okay. I think we're doing next week. I haven't officially set it up when yet, but yeah, I'm going to be right there in there too. So let's start with some victories. Who has some fun victories they want to share? Okay, Julie Patterson, I know you do.
Well, I had quite a few people sign up, so it was exciting.
Yeah, and what did you earn?
I earned free vitamins.
Yay.
And a gift card.
Yes, which I still have to get yet. So, as you guys know, if you do 5, so with the free vitamins, the first once or twice you hit 5 enrollments total, doesn't matter how long it takes you to hit it, you get free vitamins. But I think it's by the 3rd time, and any time after that, you have to hit 5 in 1 month to get the free vitamins, which you actually hit 5 in 1 month. And then that's what our High 5 challenge is that Randy and I started at the fall, I think it was in September, that if you ever enroll 5 people in 1 month, we will send you a gift certificate to somewhere, gift cards for somewhere. So congratulations. That's super exciting.
Thank you.
Christy, any victories?
One of my friends enrolled on Friday that's been talking about it for a while. So
Yay. I love that. Say that again.
My friend Mandy knows you from Orange Theory Fitness.
Oh, she does? I probably know her face because our names are up on the boards, but I don't know a lot of people's names unless we happen to introduce ourselves. So I'll have to go look at her picture.
Okay.
Well, and that's perfect timing that I did Shannon for her transformation yesterday then too. Because 3 of the 5 coaches at the Orange Theory we're at are on our team.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah. I'm waiting for a couple of the other to come out of the closet, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And you had the victory of Sam posting again for the Monday night event, which I think is awesome. And I have to say, I love seeing more guys post because I think so many people think this is like a women's only thing. And so, the whole couples and guys thing, I think is great.
Yes, that is.
And Julie, Ash, what about you?
Well, nothing happening as far as enrollment. Well, I shouldn't say nothing happening, but no new enrollments recently, which is kind of frustrating for me. But I definitely have a lot of things, a lot of feelers and things working. I'm just hoping something is going to come through. But I do have my victory, I guess, would be James and his success because he's doing so well since he started back. And that's
I was just going to ask how the second time around is going.
It's going really well, and he sends me messages all the time, so I'm ready to post again for tomorrow some of the messages that he sent me, and I said, well, I'll put it up anonymously. He's like, I don't care, you can put my name on, you can put everything on. He doesn't care. He's like, he's so excited about it.
So I may borrow that then too. After you post it, I may borrow that.
Yeah, that's fine. I think he's down like 25 pounds, and it's been like 30, maybe 40 days now.
Awesome. So Julie and Christy, if you don't know, James is her ex-husband, which they actually get along really well now. So we've seen him, the first time. So he started, and then his account never really deactivated. He just walked away from it, and now he's come back, and he's on fire the second time around. And the hard part is he also is a chef, so he loves to eat. And he's a really good chef from what I hear.
Oh, I should post a picture of the food prep that he did because he literally made probably 100 meals and snacks. So he has them all frozen.
A great
all ready. So he has his plated meal. He doesn't even have to think about that. He just pulls that out of the freezer and has a plated meal.
That would be a really good spin, especially since you posted about him before. That would be a really good spin on his post.
Yeah.
Is he coming to the Christmas party?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I'll mention it to him and see if he wants to.
Okay. And so that's what I want to bring up next is please try and get team members of the Christmas party because I think that connectiveness And the team synergy is what's going to keep propelling us building managers and getting people involved to come to meetings and to come to conferences. So I don't want people to think it's just first line people. It's everybody. And with spouses, and everybody's to bring an appetizer and an ornament for the ornament game. So I've been sending out texts to all local people that I haven't heard from to kind of get an idea. At this point, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Randy's alarm. That's Athletico alarm, Randy. I think we have somewhere about 14 to 16 right now. Figure maybe up to 20-ish, still in his pajamas.
I see that.
Thank you.
Tree repair.
We put all the lights on the tree and they were all working Friday, and we had one strand go out. So he just had to re-crank that one strand. What fun. So, so just, try and encourage them to come, because again, I think the more we link arms together, the more that momentum and excitement's going to grow.
I think Gary and I are going to try to come, but it won't be until probably like 8 or 8:30 because Kylie has a soccer tournament.
Okay, awesome.
I need to RSVP.
Okay, awesome. And I know Jennifer Pashota, our chiropractor, she is actually having a fundraiser for her daughter that night because her daughter, they're in a lawsuit suing district, whatever the Crystal Lake School District is. It's a whole hot mess. And I didn't realize it was that night, but hers is at like 6. So I told her, feel free to come after, like if they're done at 8, 8:30, come later as well. And I actually have a meeting with her in 2 hours. So that brings me to the next subject is that next Tuesday, the 4th, I don't know if you guys saw my Facebook Live in Isojourney. I had the way I got this idea is I really want to do this with businesses at their location. And I was trying to do it with Dan Hickey at Allstate, and he's kind of blowing me off. So I'm done waiting for him that I just decided to do it on my own. So what the event is called is Holiday Stress Buster, because we all know this time of year, whether it's physically, financially, socially, emotionally, people are overstressed. So I asked Jen, the chiropractor, and Danny, the massage therapist, to come help me. And so we're meeting today to kind of game plan what this looks like. But Jen is going to talk about the importance of staying in alignment and how that can affect your stress. And Danny's going to talk about massage and how that can help with stress. And I'm going to serve wine and chocolate. So the chocolate is going to be our cut up isoline bars and isodelites. I'm going to get some red wine and obviously serve water. And then we're going to talk about, in fact, I want to kind of come up with like a stress bundle package that I've kind of created where it has like ionics, sleep spray, because we're going to talk about the importance of sleep and stress, talk about the importance of nutrition and stress. So I kind of want to, I'd love to do a full 30-day presentation, but I'm trying to rally it around stress and have it look different to see if we can get a different crowd. So that's why we're meeting to kind of talk this through. So if you have ideas on what to do or topics to talk about relating stress, or if you have a specialty about stress that you want to talk about and present, you're welcome to. But the Facebook event is up. And it's at 7:30, so you're welcome to start inviting friends whenever you want to that. And again, if there's anything you want to talk about or lead for that, I am way open to whoever wants to talk or present to feel free to.
And what day is that event?
Next Tuesday. I'm trying to cram as much in before Randy's surgery, which is why we're doing the Christmas party so early, because he has his last surgery on the 6th, which is sinus surgery. And I don't know what the recovery looks like for that. I do know there won't be PT finally, so that's good. Okay, so let's talk about, is there anything you guys are struggling with, you want to talk about topic-wise?
I have a question.
Sure.
What does it mean when you get an email? Because I've gotten this email multiple times saying your customer is holding.
The holding volume?
Yeah.
Okay, so when somebody starts, they get to, when they place their orders, that order volume is called holding volume. And as long as you stay above 100 BV every 30 days, that holding volume will keep accumulating. So when they switched to Customer First last year, the holding volume builds for 3 months, And then at 3 months, it stops and just sits there and kind of literally is in like a holding tank for another 3 months. So when somebody joins, basically they have 6 months to flip to associate before they lose their holding volume. So I think this is kind of that missing link that we've been talking about as far as trying to introduce them to sharing earlier so that they don't miss the holding period. And I had done a post about it a while ago. I think I put it on Shooting Stars, where I talked about the purple button. And that's what that was kind of about. Let me see if I put it on there. That when people click, when they start out as an associate, and maybe I put it on Ice Journey, and they click the purple button, you have to watch the video, give your social security number, but that then is day 1 of the Crystal Executive Run. So I think collectively, I'd like to have us be more intentional about find 2 accountability partners. Like I'm trying really hard at the get-go before they even enroll to talk about accountability partners. And then I'm bringing it up again when I'm walking them through their back office. And I need to get better at when we walk them through the back office, kind of bringing up that holding volume and what's happening. Because I think when people realize it's a bank of money, you know, that if you look at it as a bank of money, then people may be more apt to, oh yeah, I want some free food. I want free Isogenics. So does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I just what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jody, can you just clarify your, again, when you go through that, you say it builds for 3 months and then it holds for 3 months. Is that minimum volume required to keep it doing that, or is there no minimum volume?
You always want to have 100 BV minimum to keep that holding volume going and even to hold it. And then at that 6 months, if they haven't flipped to associate, that wipes out to 0.
Even if they've been keeping that 100 BV minimum.
Yeah. So that's why it's important to have those conversations regarding, let's find accountability partners. Do you want to learn how to earn free food? You know, whatever angle or both angles that you want to come from.
But then does it start over again? Because I think I've gotten that email a couple of times for the same person.
That I don't know.
I think it does, because I've gotten it a couple of times for Debbie.
Okay. And maybe, yeah, maybe it does.
Maybe after it zeroes out, it starts over again.
Yeah. And, you know, it'll be interesting because Cindy on her Monday calls a couple weeks ago had talked about like numbers are down company-wide with the company. And they're going to restructure the way they run incentives, and they leaned out and actually ended up taking away some of the positions like the regional directors, that kind of thing. And they said, we're still fine, we're still debt free, they're just trying to make sure to keep the engine running well. But last year was the first year in 4 years that they didn't do a crystal reset. That I just said to Randy this week, I bet they do a crystal reset again. So I want to prep you guys for this in case they do, because this is huge. So back when I started, I had to give my social security number, and I started out as an associate. And it took me a year because of Tastefully Simple to come around and be like, okay, now I'm ready to start sharing. Well, I clearly had missed the whole executive run for the crystal bonuses because I didn't see the big picture right away. So when they come out with a crystal reset, you start with where you left off. So if you've hit manager already, you can't go back and hit manager. Your aim then is director and executive. If you haven't hit manager, you can hit all 3 bonuses. So for me, I've hit director so far. So if they do a crystal reset, that usually starts the week after we come back from NYKO, which would be like January 14th. And that would be the start of a new crystal reset. So basically what happens is you then have that as your day 1 for 6 months to hit those bonuses all over again. Now, since Randy's account has hit crystal executive, he'd have to start all over and do all 3 bonuses again. But those of us who are in the middle of it catch up with where we've left off to hit it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So I'm really hoping that they come back and offer that again. Now, what they did do last year is instead of starting a crystal reset in January, it was called a fast track Crystal Executive, where they gave you half the time but twice the bonus. So that one was really hard because it was, I think, March, April, May, or April, May, June to hit that. So I hope they go back to the regular Crystal Executive where you have the 6 months to hit those bonuses. And you can bet your bottom I'm going to be going for that executive bonus. I'm trying to get to executive anyway, but I'm a carrot jumper, so you throw money at me and let's make that happen. So be ready and kind of coach your teams of, you know, this may happen. And if they haven't flipped to hit their purple button yet, you don't even need to have the reset talk with them, just the talk of, do you realize there's bonuses out there? And I would like to, and maybe this is something to get your guys' opinion on. So in January, I typically do a vision casting, a vision board party. And then I typically do an NYKO recap, all team meeting. And I'm thinking instead of doing the vision casting, maybe talking about the vision of building your team and the you share, they share, and hitting the purple button and making sure people really understand all of that. Do you guys, would you rather do that? Would you rather do vision casting, a little bit of both? Like, what do you think we need?
Well, what kind of, I don't know, because I feel like it's kind of the same people at the meetings every month.
Right?
So is that going to be kind of like what it's going to be like in January, where we're all kind of on the same page with that, but then those people that don't usually come to the meetings are the ones that really need to hear it?
Right. And what about throwing a challenge out? Like every leader who brings 2 team members with them gets a prize. You know, something to try and get the people who don't usually come to show up.
Yeah. Sure.
You know,
I don't know if this is off track of what you were thinking, Jody, but I would really like to have a meeting where there's a group of us where we can do some role playing with objections.
yeah.
I'm finding that with my team, that's even with Kim, who was so on fire, she's gotten a lot of no's lately, and it's really, it
Plays with
you
your
know,
mindset.
yeah, in addition to other stuff that's been going on, and I keep trying to feed her podcasts and trying to keep her going, because it's tough when you start getting all those no's, especially I think after she was getting a lot of yeses, and now she's like
Right.
butting her head up. And so I think that it would be,
now is when the grit comes in, because we all hit no's and we all hit valleys. And so now's the important part, to build that belief and make sure she stays connected, stays believing, so that she doesn't be like, oh, I don't want to do this, you know, kind of thing.
right. And I think I gave her that book, the Overcoming Objections book. I think I gave her one of those, but I think that she's getting a lot of people who are wanting just the shakes or just this or just that, and they're really piecemealing it, and that's another, you know, between that and then just the flat out no's, I think she's losing confidence, and I'm trying to help get her back in. And I really think that role playing or seeing other people doing, you know, handling objections would really be helpful.
Yep.
And not just with her, I mean, but that's using her as an example.
Yeah, we did that a long time ago, probably 2-3 years ago, where I actually have cards of the common objections, time, money, you know, whatever. And I think I've saved them. And we just had people pick in a bowl, and they had to kind of, you know, how would you answer it kind of thing. There's also a really two great podcasts that I'm thinking of. One is Tracy O'Malley, and the other, I believe, is Chris Harder. It's either Chris Harder or it's Zach Slobin. I can't remember which. But I'll look to see. I think I put them up in the past in Shooting Stars. I really like Tracy's. But so it's either, I know for sure Tracy O'Malley has one, and then the other is either Chris Harder or Zach Slobin, or both of them. If you go into Shooting Stars and in the search bar put Overcoming Objections, see what comes up. And we could bring it back up like it's a new post again, because obviously there's new people on that page. And that would be a good one. And you could even send it to her in a private message like, hey, came across this. thought this would help you, you know, kind of thing. But that's a good idea. Yeah, and I don't know if it's too much for one meeting to do building consultants and objections in one meeting, or we make those 2 separate meetings.
Well, I think they kind of go hand in hand.
I think so.
Okay. So maybe we'll focus on that instead of vision boards for January, because, you know, I can do a post of how to build vision boards and you guys can do that at home. As fun as it is to do in a group, I want to be more productive and making sure we're meeting the needs of what people are looking for, especially you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
So I'm toying with the day of January 26th, which I know is kind of late. I know in the past what I've done is I've done the vision board one on the 5th. We will be at NYK over the 12th. And the only reason I picked the 26th over the 19th is Jake is gone for the weekend, which really doesn't matter. I mean, he sleeps half the morning, so it really doesn't matter. Do you guys think a Saturday or a weekday night is better?
A weekday night if possible.
Yeah, I would say a weekday night too.
I'm good with whatever.
Okay. Because when I've done them on Saturdays, I've done them as leader breakfasts and then have breakfast for you guys. And I usually do them early, like 8:30, so people can get up and, you know, gone with their day. Because usually the sports don't start till 9 or 10. So think about it. Shoot me if you have a preference of, and you know, here's the thing too. Do we do this type of a topic for just leaders only, or do we do this team-wide?
Team-wide.
Yeah, I would open up to the team.
Okay. So let's do this January. So then instead of having 2 separate meetings of a leader meeting and an all-team meeting, is do it all as a team meeting. And I'm going to call it out right away so people know, you know, we're going to be focusing on, and I'm going to say getting accountability partners, because January, everybody's in that restart mode anyway. So our focus will be accountability partners and getting products paid for, and see if that brings some new blood to the table. Then I will throw out a challenge to you guys as leaders that anybody who brings 2 guests gets a little gift from us. Not guests, 2 team members. Getting products paid for. And Julie, what night is your small group? Wednesdays?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it really is hard with having NYKO being that second week, trying to figure out when to do this. And I hate, the only other problem with doing it on the 19th is that's a 3-day weekend for a lot of us. So I don't know how many people would be leaving and doing a getaway for the weekend, whether it's college visit or whatever. Do you guys think the 26th is too late, or I should do something earlier right after NYKO, like the 15th on a Tuesday night?
I think it's fine with me.
I mean, it's more the people going to NYKO that might have an issue with it. I think if you're talking about us bringing team members, I think that's, you know, a fine date. The 15th is fine. But I'm also fine with a Saturday, so I'm good with whatever. Whatever works better for everybody else.
Christy, what's your thoughts?
I don't know what Gary's schedule is, so
Okay.
although Kylie's been babysitting for us a lot lately, so I'll figure it out either day that you make it on.
And I really don't have a problem with kids coming. I know back when Heather Paganis was coming, she used to bring her kids. Like, they can go in the basement, they can go in the family room. I have games, you know, that I don't ever have a problem. That I'd rather people come with kids than not come. So yeah, I'll have to figure that out. So Julie and Julie, I think you guys were both debating on NYKO last I heard.
Yeah, I'm watching airfares. That's my biggest obstacle right now, because I know the fixed cost on NYKO. I don't want to pay $350 for an airplane ticket. So
Okay.
I'm like watching and waiting and keeping an eye on that.
Okay.
So like, I'll know probably like within the next 2 weeks.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure, because Jill even posted about so many days till we're in Arizona. So I'm pretty sure Jill has her ticket. We have our ticket. Have you talked to her about rooming?
I haven't yet. No, I will.
Okay. And the other Julie?
I'm pretty much the same boat there as Julie.
Okay.
Watching
If you
airfares.
guys find good airfares, message each other, let each other know.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I really got to look at, because it is hard just coming off of NYKO because your mind's, going. And I could push it out to Thursday the 17th just to give us time to settle coming off of NYKO. I don't know. I don't know if I like the idea of a Thursday night or a Saturday morning. So we'll have to figure that out. But I like the idea of positioning it as an all-team meeting and letting them know this is what we're going to focus on.
Right.
Is there anything else? Oh, so the only other thing I was thinking of is be sure and tune in and try and encourage any leaders that are starting to share, people like Sam and Debbie, that Monday nights, those calls that Cindy does, I got 3/4 through the call from Monday. I still got to catch the last 10 minutes. But, she really goes out of her way to get dynamic leaders that are typically 7-figure income earners to give their nuggets, and they're doing it for free. So they're always every Monday night. They're supposed to be from 7 to 7:30. They typically go from about 7 to 7:45. And we do put up the recordings in case people can't make it. Now, I know there's been times we've been doing sip and samples and some other events on Mondays because it happens to work with our schedule. But this past week, Sarah Farnsworth and Allie Lindstrom are first-time 6-figure income earners. And if you haven't watched it, their stories are great. And they're very vulnerable because, like Allie talks about how not only in the last year or two, as she was growing, she was separated from her husband for 3 months. They moved from Minnesota to Arizona. Like, she talks about everyday life and how you work this in the pockets of your life. So it's a really great listen that I'd like to see more consistency of all of our leaders tuning in to the Monday night calls. And then the other thing coming up, and I don't know how much they've talked about it yet on ISA for Wealth because I haven't gone to look. So like we have those groups like the Fit Boot Camp and the one they just finished last month. I can't think of what it was called, the November one. There's going to be another one coming up, and kind of the theme and the verbiage for next year is they're all rallying it around Nourish in 19, which I really like because it gets us away from the word diet and food. Like the whole Nourish in 19, I think is awesome. So Alex Cowell and Kelly Heimbeck, who did the organizing of the Fit Boot Camp, are the two that are going to lead this again. And they literally took the Fit Boot Camp group and renamed it. So people who are already in there are going to be part of that group. So we need to, and I like to use when they come up with these groups as my excuse to reach back out to the team for my monthly check-in. That I try and touch base, especially with the crickets out there once a month. That's a perfect excuse. There's going to be a new group starting in January called Nourish in 19. Do you want to be part of it? So stay tuned. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more on ISA for Wealth about that coming up. But just so you guys know, that's coming.
Where does Cindy post her recordings? And when?
In ISA for Wealth. And I try and bring them over when I remember. I did bring over Mondays already, and I put it in Shooting Stars, so it'll be in both groups.
Okay.
And the link is her tagged or her pinned post on ISA for Wealth. That pinned post is the Monday night link.
Okay.
Awesome. One more thing I thought of. So do you guys use HHP, and have you found that to be a good tool for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So HHP has been more transformation-based stories. Lori Olson had another brainchild idea. Actually, it wasn't Lori. I forget who it was. Oh, it was Tiffany Keller. That let's come up with a page like HHP where you invite guests to, but have it focus on wealth transformations. So I'm logging on right now. I don't even remember what the group is called. So Cindy has started the group, and just like we have the transformation pages on there, it's going to have wealth creation ones. And what is it called? So they've started the group already, and it's one of those where we can take and put people in that group, and they're looking for people to share their story on their financial transformations. And she's looking for big and small financial transformations. It doesn't have to be whether you're a six-figure income earner or not. And of course, because I'm looking for it, I can't find it. But I'll put it in the comments below when I put this recording up. But it's basically going to be an HHP, but wealth creation HHP. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I've tried using HHP, and for some reason it just hasn't been as successful for me, but I know for a lot of people, Tanya, Kristen, Lori Olson, Lisa, they've had huge success for it.
You know how I use it? I was putting people into the group, but it didn't seem to, it's overwhelming. There's a lot in there.
Exactly.
So what I've been doing is either tagging them in a specific post to help them read it, or taking that post and texting it to them.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So then if somebody comments on a post that I say I'm messaging you, and then I will do it there too.
Okay.
So that, they can see. Like I had somebody, Rachel, who just joined, she's 72, and she's like, am I too old? I'm like, you're never too old. And I found a story of somebody who was 70 and had started the program. And so she was like, okay, I'm in. And she had no problem. She didn't even
and you look at Jimmy Smith, he was like 74 or 73 when he started, and he's 90,
Right. So yeah, I found that if I find specific posts based on their needs, then they're more likely to read that and be interested in that.
Great tip. Okay.
So Julie, you just share it from that page by Messenger?
Well, you can't really share it from the page, so you have to kind of copy it and then share it that way, like copy and post or, paste, whatever. Yeah, so that's kind of what I do.
Okay.
But I don't unless they say you can share this, I don't share it publicly.
Right.
I specifically send it to that person that's asking a specific question.
Yep.
So yeah, Alex, I'm looking at my groups. Alex thing says coming soon, nourished in 19. So if you want to look in your groups, especially if you were in the boot camp, it's been renamed, and that's probably what it says. So check your groups for that. I can't believe I can't find the one that Cindy's doing about the business one. That when I find it, I'll let you know what it is. But
not the one she just posted in, is it? Or was that her page, her group?
I don't know.
About the six-figure income earners and.
No, that was on her page.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I cannot find. It's amazing how many groups you get thrown in, and you don't even know you're in these groups.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. So I'll have to find it and go back to it. And I'll check on Mastermind, because I think she talks about the name of the group in Mastermind. So I'll find that again. But, coming back to goals for next year is that I'm hoping all three of you have that goal as executive. That is where the magic starts happening. You get your executive matches, you get bonus pools, there's all kinds of extra money that comes in, really starting at director, but from director and executive, that's where the exponential money goes. And so, yes, we want to keep building consultants, but really we want to be building managers. That's what's going to get us where we need to go. Sound good? All right. So then we will see you guys Saturday at the party. Don't forget an appetizer and an ornament, and then start thinking about invites for the Stress Buster. And if you have any ideas or suggestions or want to present for Tuesday, let me know.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a good day, everybody.
Thanks, you too.
You too.
Bye.
Bye, ladies.